Welcome to the people live from Facebook. It's an honor to welcome you here today to this beautiful, beautiful new space here in Clinton, in the neighborhood of Clinton. For those of us in the room old enough, we used to call this place Hell's Kitchen. We've been trying to rebrand it for 25 years. It ain't really working, but I'll call it Clinton, because that's what my notes say. But this is the new home for ART in New York, and we're going to be here for the next 90 years. Yes? 90. So keep your feet on the ground, keep your gum off the seats. Make sure we keep this space nice and clean for the 90 years to come. You know, Off-Broadway is really special to me because it's where I started my career almost 30 years ago. My first show in New York City was at the Public Theater. It was a show called Romance and Hard Times. Some people in the room know what it was? William Finn musical. And, you know, it was really important for me. It sort of launched me into the New York world and into the New York scene, and I'm forever grateful for that. I also had a play recently in 2014 that I wrote starring Esapatha Murkison that was off-Broadway. So, you know, the producers are here sitting right there. So I appreciate what that means to our community and to our theatrical community. There are 21 diverse theater companies that are going to be producing in this space through 2018. And, you know, there's already been stuff here. You know, there was a production with a muddy swamp, and now, for those of you who didn't notice, there's like a Norwegian hoppa band behind us. And apparently it's Peer Gynt. Who knew? So that's exciting. ART helps nonprofit theater companies afford space. They make space for these companies affordable for the lower income companies. And it's so exciting and thrilling that these new state-of-the-art theaters are now accessible.
You see all this? This fabulous thing that you see before you is here because like 25 plus years ago, I feel like I was in this exact same area with the entire lab before the Labyrinth Theater Company was, you know, and we were just like these kids. Wow. We weren't really that young either then, but maybe I should kill you all before you even... Anyway, about 25 years ago, we didn't have the resources that those that come after us have. And so it's very moving to be standing in this space knowing that, like, we were standing in the same space except that there was no heat. There were actual rodents around, and, you know, I hope you don't take that, Jeff, as like, well, we didn't really need to do this, because artists will work whether they have money or not, and that sucks, but you guys shouldn't know that, because, well, now you can feel a bit of, pardon the expression, but ownership or pride, that you have impacted the artists in your community. Oh, and I have something to say. It's probably the same thing. Most actors who perform on Broadway have taken a journey to get there, a journey that sometimes begins in church basements, theaters without air conditioning, and sometimes very small stages. That is what off-Broadway sometimes means. But Art New York had a dream. Dream is too small a word, but I'm just editing. To provide their members with beautiful state-of-the-art theaters that are on par with our off-Broadway companies. As I look around me, I have to say, wow. I cannot wait to appear on these stages. You know what? I can't wait to appear on these stages. I really can't. Even though I know that I won't get paid a lot, this is the kind of stage I would want to be performing on. And as an Art New York board member, I want to echo Ginny's thanks to our funders, and especially to the City of New York for making this possible, because it's about what you give. And so thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, for your leadership, your support, and your tremendous generosity. By donating $1 million to name the Jeffrey and Paula Gorell Theater, you helped create an amazing momentum for a campaign that led to numerous large gifts, from the Ford Foundation and the Doris Duke Charitable Trust, to the Altman Foundation, the Howard Gilman Foundation, the Ruth Ferris Foundation, the Stavros Niarchos Foundation, the Lester T. Mertz Charitable Trust, which has been with us for many years, Michael Herskovitz, and the Rockefeller Brothers Fund. And I didn't forget one of them. But we would not be standing here today were it not for the City of New York. It was Community Board 4 that insisted that theaters be built in this development. And it was the City of New York that provided funding to build these theaters through the Office of the Mayor, the Manhattan Borough President, and the City Council, through the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs and under the supervision of the Department of Design and Construction. The Reverend Jesse Jackson once said that you can judge a city by the way it treats its poorest citizens. Do they have access to affordable housing? Do they have access to quality education? Well, I believe that you can measure the health of a theater community by the same metrics. And while our theaters are not poor, they do have small, modest budgets. And in the last 15 years, we have lost 80 small performance spaces. Thanks to the City of New York, and many of the funders who are here today, Art New York has been able to provide 40 affordable spaces, as well as 10 rehearsal studios at spaces at 520 in Manhattan and at the Lester T. Mertz South Oxford space. We also provide education and training through our workshops and roundtables, and we provide cash grants and loans for real estate and cash flow. There is no other city like the City of New York, and there is no other city in the United States that provides $150 million annually in capital funding for the arts, including small, emerging companies.
I'm Matthew Washington, Deputy Manhattan Borough President, but I'm thrilled to be here on behalf of Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer. This is really exciting, and certainly congratulations to Ginny and Jeff for their leadership with ART. This is a wonderful space. Has that new theater smell when you walk in. It's wonderful. I don't think I've ever smelled a new theater before, but this city should be doing more of this. We have some old theaters, but ART is absolutely wonderful and has been doing an incredible job at making sure small theater companies have spaces, have resources that they need to create and show the work that they do.
One.